Welcome to Wander, Explore, Discover.
Today we're doing a review on Smoko Campground.
And I'm going to cook up some crispy skinned trout that we caught at a local farm.
Smoko Campground is a great bush camping spot on the Ovens River in Victoria's high country. It is located at the end of Miley Lane at Smoko, approximately 17 kilometres south of Bright and 10 kilometres north of Harrietville along the Great Alpine Road. Bright is located approximately 322 kilometres from Melbourne.
It is a popular destination for camping, swimming, fishing and just relaxing. If you want more places to wander, explore and discover, subscribe to our channel for new videos every week.
Access to Smoko Campground is along the sealed Great Alpine Road, and then you turn into Miley Lane and drive along a narrow, decent gravel road for about a kilometre. The camping surface is mainly hard-packed dirt with some grassy areas. The beautiful Ovens River runs through the campground, and there is a day-use area for everyone to enjoy with picnic tables and access to the river for swimming. The Ovens River is a popular spot for trout fishing. There are only a few riverfront spots available, but there are plenty of places to camp in the bush back from the river.
We chose a nice flat site with a fire pit about halfway between the river and the toilet. There were not too many trees here, so we had good solar. The camping area has lots of trees, so if you want shade you will have plenty of choice of campsites. We stayed here in early October and there were a few campers over the weekend, but it wasn't very busy. Parks Victoria maintains Smoko Campground and it's free to camp here. A couple of state forest rules to be aware of are always check for fire bans before starting a fire, as they are strictly enforced. Be prepared to take all your rubbish with you, as bins are not provided. Ensure you have an adequate supply of drinking and cooking water, as there are no taps or water tanks available. When camping in a state forest, set up at least 20 metres from the waterways.
There is one long drop toilet towards the back of the campground. There are fire pits scattered around the camping area and several picnic tables in the day use area. Smoko Campground is a large campground that is suitable for motorhomes, caravans, camper trailers and tents. The Great Valley Bike Trail that runs between Bright and Harrietville also passes through the campground, so be aware of cyclists.
Smoko Campground is dog friendly, just keep your dogs on a lead and clean up after them. Fires are allowed as long as there is no fire ban. The camping spots are easily accessible for motorhomes. We had good Telstra mobile coverage when we stayed. A long drop is available, you will need to provide your own toilet paper. There are picnic tables, tent camping is allowed. There are no rubbish bins, so take your rubbish with you. You can swim in the river and you can fish in the river. Four kilometres from Smoko Campground is the Stony Creek Fish Farm, which has a great cafe and you can catch your own salmon and trout. It is open Friday to Monday from 10 AM to 4 PM. It's free to try and catch a fish, and Stony Creek provides bait and fishing lines, and then you pay per kilogram for every fish you catch. We caught 2 lovely brook trout. They gutted and cleaned them for us and we took them back to Smoko.
Well, that's how you do it. G'day. Alright, we're going to do a cooking segment today with some of these beautiful brook trout that we caught from the Stony Creek trout farm where we're staying at the moment near Smoko. We brought them home, they finished them off for us, gutted them, cleaned them up, and they're ready to go to cook. And it's a very quick recipe today that we're going to do. Easy to prepare, not too many ingredients. Also from the fish farm, they had some herbs that were growing around the place. We got some continental parsley and some dill that we're going to add into a butter sauce we're going to make with some lemon. It'll be absolutely beautiful. And the other ingredients are pretty basic. We've got plain flour that we're going to put onto our fish. We have smoked paprika, which you don't have to use smoked or even paprika at all. However, this should add a really nice taste to the fish. Basic salt and pepper. Right, and we'll be cooking with this particular oil today, which is a sunflower seed from Peepo Farms. And we did a tasting while we were there, and this has a very high smoke point, but when you taste it, it actually makes your mouth feel nice and fresh. So it should go really well with fish. And we should be able to cook this up to be nice and crispy. The butter and the lemon will go into our sauce that will go over the top with our herbs, and let's get started. If you don't have any special oil like we do here, you can use just normal olive oil or vegetable oil, that's fine. But we're using things from around the region, and this is the one we found, and I think it'll work really well with the fish. Right, so now we're going to prepare our fish ready to cook, and we've got a tray here that we're going to add some flour. So we'll just, not going to measure too much out, just throw some flour in the bottom. It's just only a couple of fish, so we don't need a terrible amount. And then we'll add our paprika in. So add that into taste. I quite like the taste, so I'm going to add a good sprinkle across the top. A bit of salt. So just back and forward across the pan a couple of times is good. Some pepper. Cracked pepper is the best. Black pepper. If you don't have that, that's fine, but yeah, black pepper generally is the best one to go with. And then we can just mix it around a bit with a spoon so that it's evenly distributed. And we've got quite a nice pink sort of blend which goes nicely with the fish and should taste very nice once it's on there. Right, so now before we flour our fish, we'll pat them dry with some paper towel. Just take some of this off, and we'll grab one of our fish, and I'll just wrap it up and then just sort of squeeze it until it's sort of patted down quite dry. Alright, and then we can peel that off. So once he's dry, we're going to take the fish and lay him down in the flour and just press it down firmly and roll him around a little bit on one side to get him nice and coated, and then give your flour a little bit of a shake, roll him over and do the same thing on the other side. We'll do both fish first and then we'll finish him off. So just a couple of rolls till he looks like he's nice and evenly coated. So, and then we'll do the same thing with the second fish. Alright, so we're ready to cook our fish. We've got our portable gas burner outside and a heavy based saucepan or a fry pan to put on here. And we're going to add some of our sunflower oil into basically shallow fry the fish. So we'll add probably half this bottle in here, just so it's coated over the bottom, and that should be enough as it'll expand a little bit as we cook. And then we'll turn the heat on. So we've got our sunflower oil in our
fry pan heating up on the gas. Now we don't want to get this particularly smoking hot because we don't want to overcook the fish too quickly, but we want to get it fairly warm. Okay, so probably it's a bit hard to tell without smoking, but I guess if you put your hand above the oil and just sort of feel when you can feel heat coming off that oil, then that's about the time to add the fish in. And we're just going to cook one fish at a time. Right, so we've had our fry pan on there for a minute or two. It is just starting to smoke around the edges, and I can feel heat coming off the oil, so that's good enough. We're going to cook our fish one at a time, and we'll take our fish by the tail, and what we're going to do is simply lay it down in the oil away from us so that the oil doesn't splash onto us, and then we'll start cooking. So we'll lay the fish down like that, and we'll let it cook for 4 to 5 minutes. Alright, so fish has been there about 3.5 to 4 minutes. It doesn't take very long, it's quite a delicate fish, and you can see that it's starting to go white around the edges, and we've sort of cooked the tail. And so what we're going to do is just take the fish and then flip him over onto the other side, and you'll see that he's got a beautiful crisp skin there, and we can cook him on the other side. Alright, so because it's quite a small fish, we've only cooked it for about 4 minutes on either side, and we're just going to take the fish out of the oil once it's cooked and place it into some paper just to drain, get the oil off it, and then we can prepare the rest of the dish. So our fish is cooked, and we're going to cook this quick sauce to go with it that will go over the top of our fish. So we're just going to do one sauce for each one. Of course you could do all of it together. So I'll just take some dill off and a little bit of parsley. Right, just break some of that off and just put it into a bunch, and if you can, roll it up into a little ball or a little tube like this, which helps you cut it up. And then take your knife and just roughly cut through to, you don't need to cut it up very finely. I mean, if you want it a little bit finer, you can cut through like this, but that's basically enough, just rough cut, ready to go. So we're going to make our lemon butter sauce with our herbs, and we're just going to take a bit of butter, so just about a teaspoon or so lumped out of here. It's a bit room temperature, so that's fine. And turn our heat on. Get the butter melting, and then once the butter has melted, so we just let that get a bit of heat into it for a moment. Alright, so once your butter has melted, so just till it's melted, and you can sort of swirl it around like this, then take your herbs and throw them into the butter and give it a little bit of a swirl, and then take your lemon juice and just squeeze half or about a quarter of a lemon into your pan and give that a bit of a swirl, and that is about it, and we are ready to go to put this onto the fish. Alright, so we've got our salad and our fish on a plate, and we're just going to take our bit of sauce, which if you shake it around and just drizzle that over the top, and we are good to go. Alright, here is our fresh fish cooked, ready to go with a nice fresh salad and some lemon. I cannot wait to eat that. It looks absolutely delicious.
We hope you enjoyed today's video. You can find more information and places to explore at wanderexplorediscover.com.